So this is our favorite picture that we always have in our
Yes.
presentations because that shows our strength and unity in diversity, as you can see. And that's the wonderful wristband that was made in Kenya by the Seed Savers Network through somebody locally, obviously, but very beautifully done. And thank you, Seed Savers Network, for hosting this session again and to have this wonderful bonding. Okay, so going forward, maybe some of you have seen this presentation earlier during the information webinar that we had last year. But for many of those who are there new today, I'll just go through this once again. So what is Innofo? Innofo is not a one more new organization, but it's a network of already existing organic farmer organizations. And it's a self-organized structure within iFarm Organics International. Within Innofo, what we do is we actually try to build relationship between the already existing OFOs so that they can share knowledge, expertise, skill sets, and the challenges with each other. And we all together have a common legitimate voice of organic farmers together to make this world a better planet. In the history, as you can see on the left side of the picture, we have our earlier president, Mr. Anton Pinchot from France. He is a farmer growing goats and vegetables. Alongside, you see Christina Grandi, who is also an advocacy person in iFarm International, but is very supportive to Innofo in the past, present, and hopefully in the future. I'm sorry, but the other two individuals in the picture are not known to us as well, but they have been active in the past. And as you can see on the right, that's the photo that we had last with our president, ex-president Anton Pinchot, when we were in Berlin in 2018. So going back, you will also see here this in the further presentations that we have from our secretary. But to bring you to this virtual GA that we are today, I would like to start that in Innofo, the talks about having a separate platform for organic farmers within iFarm Organics International started around 2008. And the need was felt because in most of the international platforms, you hardly used to see organic farmers and their voice coming on platform, but it would have all the voices of all other stakeholders in the organic value chain. And hence the decision was made that yes, we should start our own sector platform. And it started in 2008. The first Innofo General Assembly then happened in 2011 in South Korea, followed by the next one in 2014 in Turkey, where most of us with whom you see today have been joined Innofo during those times in Turkey. And in India in 2017, where OFI, Organic Farming Association of India, was very active to involve Innofo in the co-organizing of the event and made it a farmer dominating congress, first time in the history of iFarm, as well as making it more structured going forward for Innofo. So since 2017, when I was elected as the president and the executive committee and this set of council that we have, we all together build Innofo since 2017 up till now at several stages with different workshops and support from Andrea's Hermes Academy and iFarm Organics International. I always like to correlate our journey with making of a mud pot. I'm sure you all know for making a mud pot, we need to first have a very fine soil, which is then mixed very nicely and then made into a dough. Then on a wheel, it is made into a pot. So the first journey from 11 to 14 was like we are mixing just the soil and making things ready for putting it on the wheel. From 14 to 17 was we made the dough ready. Perfect texture, perfect to work on. And now from 17 to 21, we are actually making the shape of the pot is coming in through. But as Julie also said in the beginning, the pot is coming in ready. So we are older enough, but we are not yet ready to hold the pot, to hold the water in the pot, because it's not baked yet and it's not ready to take the water in. But I'm sure with the speed and the efforts with what we have achieved in the past 4 years, in the next 4 years, we'll surely have the mud pot ready, nicely baked to hold water, so that all farmers, organic farmers all over the world, can have water through that pot. So that's just an example to correlate, but that's how I feel most of the time. Okay, so this is our efficient council from 2017 to 21. As you can see, the some are overlaps, but some are missing in some pictures. So there are 2 pictures, but we are all over in the 6 regions: Asia, Africa, Latin America, North America, Europe, and newly we have Oceania, Pacifica. So when we say organic farmer organizations, these organic farmer organizations are the organizations where organic farmers are on the board of the organization in some way or the other and have a decision-making power in their organization. So that is very important and a key principle within Innofo that we definitely want to follow going forward. And hence, we have made efforts to have these mandate forms for you to come into the GA, so that we know that organic farmers on the ground have mandated you from their OFOs and their regions for you to take their voice up in the other regions and globally. So that's of the organic farmer organization. So how does the earlier general assemblies happen? So all the Innofo general assemblies that happened so far used to happen in line with the Organic World Congress, as you can, as Charles told in the beginning. So those who came to present their paper or presentation in the farmers track would also come. As you can see, there are some green balls, yellow balls, and orange persons. So this is how actually it was. There were some country representatives, there were some regional representatives, some contact points, some farmers, but not necessarily an even distribution of one person coming from a country elections, then country representative coming to the council. So as you can see in these GAs, these different set of people used to come together, the farmers especially used to come together and have first the regional reports being presented in the General Assembly, then the global presentations, and then specific elections. So the same pattern we have now, but we have divided it into virtual, where we have first part, which is about the reports of the last 3 years, global and continental, and the next one will have the elections. To describe those colors in further, as you can see, each organic farmer organization on the top has mandated one contact person through these mandate forms that you all must have filled. Then different OFOs within a country select or elect a country representative. Then different country representatives within a continent would elect 3 continental conveners. And then all these continental conveners from the 6 continents or region would form the 18 Council of Conveners, who would then elect the President, Secretary, Treasurer, and Global Relationship Manager, which is the Secretariat as we call them. So this is what ideally we expect it to happen. For now, maybe in some regions it is happening at the country level, but at some regions it's mostly happening now at the continental level. But going forward, we would want to have this as the ideal governance structure within Innofo. So for that, I will also describe you through the organogram that we have developed in these last 4 years through several workshops. And we think it would be the best going forward, but for that we need the consent or the approval of the General Assembly. And that's why this General Assembly will have some voting poll, not immediately now, but after my presentation, there will be 3 polls that would be asked on the organogram. So I will describe the organogram once again. You have on the top is the organic farmer organizations who elect a country representative. The country representatives within a continent come together in the GA, or the forms the Council of Regions. So what we are doing now is we are in the GA, and we would in the part 2 have these elections to have these 3 per continent to be elected, making it a total of 18. Our statutes at the present are 15, and it says that it may be up to 15, but it is not defined in the current statutes how many conveners per continent. And as we are growing in different countries, we have observed over last 4 years that as we are increasing, we cannot keep on increasing this council to more than that number. So we decided that irrespective of where our accessibility is, or where our the continent size is, how much big the size of a continent is or not, irrespective of that, we decided to have 3 conveners to be elected per continent. So this is something also that we would ask you as a question, if you agree to that point or not. So if everybody agrees, and then if it is 3 per continent, it will be a total of 18. So this is which would be asked in a one poll. Then the next poll would be to on the board of Council of Continents. So this Council of Regions of 18 people would then elect the board, which is the Council of Continents, where there would be 6 people. Again, 1 from each continent. 1 in Asia, 1 from Africa, 1 from Latin America, 1 from Oceania, 1 from Europe, 1 from North America. So making it a total of 6. Again, to have an equal distribution and not overpowering any single region, depending on their accessibility or availability of more organic farmers in the region. And then this board will have the elections to form the president, vice president, secretary, joint secretary, treasurer, and global relationship manager. As you can also see, the dotted lines are about the operational decisions, and the bold line is about the strategic decisions. So the second voting poll would be asked on the Council of Continents, and the third one would be on the entire organogram. Maybe I'll have the opportunity to describe you further, and I will now go to my next point. The next point where we would need your approval is also on the amendments of the statutes. As I mentioned here, the one is on the 15 to 18 number that we need to approve. Then this as the board number of in the number of conveners or seats on the board. And the next one is on the important aspect of our statutes, which is on the participation or the membership. You would see a lot of text on the screen, which says actually is the statutes that was approved in 2017 by the INOFO General Assembly in India. What it says is basically there are 2 categories. One is the farmers organizations who have a voting rights in IFOAM GA, and one without the voting rights. So just to give you a small background of from where this comes from, is that in the past it has been a struggle and a challenge for INOFO and the organic farmers to raise their voice of common concern within IFOAM Organics International and outside, and because of which there has been many or the majority of the members within INOFO wanted to become member of INOFO but didn't want to become members of IFOAM because they didn't see much value in becoming members of IFOAM but found value in joining INOFO, and hence that was allowed in the past. But after 2017, when we went through a synergy building process with IFOAM Organics International, before that, after the General Assembly in 2017, we had these AHA workshops began in 2018. So during our first ever workshops itself, we had a huge debate, discussion, and a brainstorming session whether Innofo should be part within IFOM Organics International or should it stand alone by itself. And after threshing it out through this brainstorming sessions over 3 workshops, we decided no, we want to continue as a self-organized structure of organic farmers within IFOM Organics International. And because of which then we started building synergies with IFOAM, and to at the same time we also observed that within IFOAM Organics International they are also making a change from a vertical structure to a more horizontal structure where organic farmers along with other stakeholders will also get an equal opportunity to participate in all the decision making processes through a network council. So, after those discussions and the synergy building with IFOAM, it was decided to make changes in the statutes. And hence, this main clause was added that a minimum of 75% of INOFO members are IFOAM Organics International affiliates or members. And only a small proportion of this 25% would be the non-IFOAM Organics International members. And those who are non-IFOAM members would actually be able to participate in the overall working and functioning of Innofo, but would not be able to participate in the Innofo GA or the IFOAM GA. So these changes were then made, and IFOAM World Board then in 2019 actually approved these statutes and helped us to have a synergy building with them. So this is also one question that would be asked, whether you approve of these changes in the statutes in the vote that would come later on. The next one, that over the last 4 years in IFOAM is also the talks about one membership. Now, what is this one membership? I am sure you have already got too much of information right now. But don't worry, it's not that complex. And we will have a session where you can ask questions before we actually vote on it. So we have a plenty of time. The one membership is actually a platform, or it actually originated many years back, like 3 to 4 years back, where there has been talks, but now it has reached to a stage where it was tabled as a motion in the IFOAM General Assembly that happened last week, which actually, I'll just read through the rationale to help you understand that membership to IFOAM Organics International automatically confers membership to the appropriate regional body, and in the case of farmers organization, membership to Innofo. So for example, an organic farmers organization, let's say in India, that applies to IFOAM would become, after approval, a member of IFOAM Organics International, IFOAM Asia, and Innofo. To allow a proper preparation with the SOS, and the implementation, they say, would start by January 2024. So this is also something that has been developed in conjunction with the Network Council, where Innofo has been an active part in the horizontal discussion. So it is like for you or for any organic farmer organization who wants to join Innofo, they or IFOAM, they would have to pay just once, but would get benefited from 3 organizations: IFOAM regional body, IFOAM international, and Innofo. And this, what would be the fee then? So the fee would be then discussed and decided within a region or a continent, and with the different stakeholders of the organic value chain together will sit and decide the membership fee for the different stakeholders. So farmers will also be invited to in this discussion and would be helped to decide what the fee would be in your particular region. But that's would happen only after 2024. So there will be a voting question on this of whether you agree or approve to this one membership strategy. So I think that is more than enough for you to digest at one go. And these are some of the objectives and goals that we defined in the past. I will not go very much detail into it because we will cover them into the part 2 discussion that we will have to formulate our future activities going forward. But considering these objectives and goals, we would definitely need your help and support and active participation in the regions to achieve these goals, and finally leading us to our mission, which is to unite organic farmers and support their voices at all levels of food systems development towards producing healthy, nutritious food and preserve Mother Earth. And obviously, this mission would then take us to achieve our broader vision, which is to have a world of regenerative and sustainable food systems for all. Uh, so these are also the mission and the vision statements were developed in these last 4 years, where there will be some voting questions on them. So thank you very much for giving this opportunity and bringing you through this 3 years that we have been through.